some things just aren't worth fighting for. I feel like a lot of us, we fight for things all the time. We fight for people. We always fight to be right. But it's understanding that sometimes the best thing to do for ourselves is to just walk away. Whether it's petty situations in daily encounters, with relationships in your life, with a lot of things in our lives, it's understanding that sometimes what true strength is in that situation is just to walk away. Like, say you're working or you're out and about and there's a situation where you're talking to somebody and they're in the wrong. They are in the wrong and you are right in every single sense. But they just aren't letting up. They think that they're right. They think that the world somehow revolves around them. There are some people who don't respond to logic. Some people who just won't understand. No matter how you explain it, no matter how good your tone is, no matter how nice you're talking to some people, they will never admit that they are wrong. They will never say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. You're right." Some people will die on that hill, even though you are in the right. 10 out of 10 times, every single person would agree with you. They're not. They won't agree with you. In those situations, it's better to just walk away, because that is not worth fighting for. What? Because you want your ego to be stroked? You want your pride to be right? Sometimes it's just walking away, and that's the meaning of true strength. Because people who are really strong and sure of themselves, they don't need that validation. Because some people, all they want to hear is, "I'm wrong. You're right and I'm wrong." So you keep on fighting and fighting with that person who will not understand logic, who will not understand reasoning. And in those situations like that, it's not worth fighting for. And a lot of times, there are people in your life who are not worth fighting for also. We want to keep people in our lives so bad, but you're fighting so hard to keep this person in your life, but are they doing anything to want you to stay, to make you stay? And if the answer is no, then should you be fighting for this person? Should you be fighting to keep this relationship going if they aren't doing anything in their power to keep you there? A lot of things in this life we fight for, but all it is a waste of energy. It's a waste of our efforts, because some things, a lot of things are not worth fighting for. And when you realize that, you'll have so much more peace in your life, because a lot of things that we do on a daily basis, we just have to let go of. People cut us off in traffic. We're like, they're wrong. You hold the horn, you cuss out at them, but it's letting go. So what? It's not worth fighting for. A lot of things in life, we just have to accept that it happened and let it go. Because people are very prideful. People have big egos. People find it very hard to admit when they are wrong. I'm people. I find it really hard to admit when I'm wrong. But that's something that throughout the past couple years, I've been trying a lot better. I admit that I'm wrong. I say, "I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I should have handled it differently, and I'm sorry for that. I will do my best to learn and grow from that situation, but I apologize for my actions. I apologize for what I said, what I did, whatever it is." It's understanding that we are not always right. And even if we are right, sometimes it's worth just walking away. It's not always worth fighting for things, because some people, they don't realize that they're wrong. A lot of people, we think we're always right. We think that I can do no wrong. The world revolves around me. And even if logically I'm not right, somehow there's some loophole, and this is an exception. It's an exception this time because it's me. I'm the exception and I'm always right. So if you ever encounter people like that in your life, if you are somebody like that, you need to realize it. You have to understand, and you need to change. And if there's somebody that you encounter at your work, school, your daily life at the grocery store, whatever it is, if you encounter people like that, there's no use to fight, because they will always do everything in their power to make themselves right. They will gaslight you, gaslight themselves into situations that didn't happen, or they will die on the hill because they don't want to admit that they made a mistake. That's the reality. The reality is some things are not worth fighting for. Some people are not worth fighting for. I feel especially with people in our lives, we really want them in our life. We do everything in our power to keep them. We do everything in our power to fight for a person. But if a person doesn't want to stay, there's no worth fighting for them. There's no use to fight for somebody who doesn't want to stay. If a person wants to leave, you let them leave. Because it takes two to make a healthy relationship work. It takes two to hold on. If somebody wants to be let go, you have to let them go. It's not worth fighting for those people. You want so bad for that person to love you. You crave their validation. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get it. You're going to waste your breath and your energy. Because not everything is worth fighting for.